Welcome back to L3RD Lord TV. We are here today to talk about Real Madrid versus Osasuna. Real Madrid obviously won 1-0. So we're going to go ahead and dive into that. But first, as always, I don't got my hat on. A little late night video. Forgot to grab the hat, but it is what it is. L3RD.shop, Lord.shop, L3RD.shop. Go get y'all some nice hats. Got other things in store. You can check it on the website. Other things coming later. But let's get into this game now. So of course, starting lineup, hit it right on the head. Exactly what I had called out in the match preview. Is the exact lineup that rolled out. Xavi Alonso rolled out against the first game of the season against Osasuna, which was a lineup that we saw in the preseason game the week prior. Outside of Ceballos was starting in place of Valverde in that preseason game, and then obviously Valverde came back into the starting lineup for the official first game of the La Liga season. Game overall, saw some really encouraging signs. Team obviously is still trying to implement these new tactical ideas, but defensively in the pressing looked really good, looked really strong. So that was very, very encouraging to see. As a collective, that was kind of our biggest downfall last season. Obviously, kind of with certain players in certain positions that shouldn't even been on the field. That kind of screwed us over in a lot of games, but even collectively outside of those players, or that player, I should say, in Lucas Vasquez at right back, our shape wasn't really ever good defensively. It was very easy to break us down, 1-2 passes. Teams were getting a lot of transition attacks against us. So to see that we are much stronger. Obviously, it was against Osasuna, who is a weaker opponent, but nevertheless, even those games last year, those teams were getting a lot more chances than they had created today. Against us playing teams like Osasuna, those weaker opponents, they still were generating more chances just because our defensive structure wasn't good. So it was really, really nice to see the boys collectively pressing together, winning the ball back seconds after losing it, and Osasuna only having the ball for a short amount of time each time they had the ball, and only had so many attacks throughout the game. So that was very, very encouraging to see our pressing system. So going forward, I'm very excited to see how they continue to develop as the players learn their places more, learn the triggers more, and just collectively have a better idea of how we want to press and how they're going to be pressing the opposition. So I'm very excited about that. Like I mentioned in the preview, Dean Housen stand out. He is a stud at center back. Great long range passing. Great distributor for a center back. Has a good shot on him as well as in the game. He had 1 or 2 shots that threatened the keeper. He has a good strike on him. He knows how to kick the ball. So that's very exciting. That we have kind of how we had with Sergio Ramos. We Eder Militao a couple of years ago, Rudiger a couple of years ago. We have a top 5-3, anywhere in that ballpark, defender in the world in our lineup. So that's really, really exciting. Mentioning Eder Militao, looked good once again. Happy to see him back. Played the full 90, which is very, very encouraging sign. So I'm very, very happy that he is back and is looking solid. His long range passing as well was very, very strong. A couple times he tried to catch Vini out. So I think defensively we're gonna be in a very good place this season, which is exciting because the offense is gonna play itself out with the offensive talent we have on the field. Arda Güler looks amazing in midfield. I'm really happy with that kind of change in position, a tactical nuance for this season for Arda Güler, really playing in the midfield, and controlling the team, but still being able to affect offensively, getting into those center attacking mid positions in between the lines. So I'm very excited for what this season has to come for him. Vini and Mbappe still, that connection still isn't there. It just, I don't know why those two players just can't figure it out. Like, they just don't know how to click. They make very similar runs, movements very similar. So like, you would think, okay, I know how he's going to move because I would move like this or that. So you would think that they would know how to play off of each other, but still there's still nothing. Like, there was like multiple plays where they got in each other's way. And I don't understand it. They got to figure that out. And if not, you know me, I'm Rodrigo all the way. So in the fact that Rodrigo didn't even get any minutes in this game is kind of crazy. I think he's going to get for sure minutes in the next game. There's in no world where Brahim should be starting over Rodrigo. So I don't understand that whole dilemma, because Brahim is not even close to what a Rodrigo is. And we also know that Rodrigo and Mbappe have a great connection. So I don't know what's going on there. I really do hope that Rodrigo stays and fights for his game time, because I think if he does, he will end up becoming a starter. And if Vini stays on this trajectory, Vini's going to get dropped. And Rodrigo's going to take his starting position, especially once Jude comes back, because that's the thing. Valverde's not going to get dropped. Arda Güler's not going to drop. Tchouameni's not going to get dropped. So what's going to happen is we're going to run a four-man midfield lineup once Jude comes back. So that means Brahim or whoever the right winger is going to get dropped. Mbappe is obviously not going to get dropped. So then either Vini steps up and cements that attacking position for himself, or Rodrigo takes it, which I think Rodrigo can and will take that position, just because his actual playing style suits the style of play that Xabi Alonso wants to play with and utilize within the team. And he has a connection with Mbappe. Like, they know how to play off of each other. They know movements. Rodrigo's also like quicker to pass it. Vini likes to dribble a little bit more, which is fine. That's more his strength, but even with that being a strength, he hasn't been as threatening with his dribbling ability as much, going into last year, and then obviously it's the first game of the season, so I'm not too worried about that in that sense. More so, it was worrying last year. There was a large sample size, so to see him still not all the way clicking offensively, it's not worrying, but there's maybe a start of concern for me there. But Vini defensively, he was very active. He was pressing a lot. He was very engaged. So, that is at least a great sign. That even if he isn't connecting on all cylinders offensively, he's still giving a lot of effort and making sure that he's running for the team. So I can't fault him for that. Carreras looked good. He had, I think, the most touches out of all the players on the field. He looked good. So happy that we have a solid left back. On the other side, Trent, he looked okay. Still, I think he's still trying to figure out how he's going to impact the game. Kind of where he needs to pick his spots, where he can really get involved, things of that nature. So I think once he kind of figures out where's the best places and positions for him to be in the attack, and really figure out his teammates' rhythm and where they want the ball, how they like to move, because he's obviously an amazing passer. I think he'll be a lot more impactful coming in the next game sooner rather than later. So we'll see kind of how that develops. Great to see Carvajal back in the game. Man, damn near re-injured himself, doing the same shit he did to tear his ACL. So he lost it a little bit there when he lost the ball, and then like kicked out. Like, this is you literally just did this and broke your leg, shattered your ACL, whatever. You got injured, right? So for you to then first game back do the same shit, and he's kind of limping. I know that shit was hurting. Like, dude, you almost just broke your shit again. Relax. What the fuck? So happy he didn't get hurt. Happy to see him back. We got some Franco. I don't know how to say the man's name. Martinano. We're gonna call him Franco Mato. Okay, Franco Mato, the young boy, 18-year-old. Nice to see him get some minutes. He looked okay. Nothing crazy. He looked okay. Wasn't necessarily impressed or mad at his performance. He looked okay. You know, he's 18. First game in the Bernabeu. First game of the season. You know, he just joined the training sessions 3-4 days ago. So, you know, just good to see him get some run out. Start to get acclimated with the team. Excited to see how he develops. Of course, Mbappe gets the goal, draws a penalty. I don't understand. There's like some like questions about the penalty. Like, no, that was a clear penalty. He took his legs out. You know, obviously he could have made a movement to not get taken out, but you know, it's high IQ play. He touched my foot in the box and he's sliding and he's out of control. I'm just gonna fall. You know, he didn't embellish it, he just fell. Penalty. Let's keep it pushing. Knocks it down. Looks like he you know, hopefully, because last season it was like Vini, Mbappe, Juve, no, like let's just give it to one person. Let's let Mbappe take him. Call it a day. Easy enough. Puts it in the right corner, lower right corner. Boom, 1-0. That was the only goal of the game. So excited to see this next game on Sunday. I'll be dropping a match preview for that probably tomorrow. I'll drop that one tomorrow ahead of the game. So I'll go more into detail of that game, the matchups, the lineups, score predictions, things of that nature. But I just wanted to touch on today's game, real quick. Nothing crazy. First game of the season, 1-0. Not too much going on, but some encouraging signs from the team overall. So excited to see how we continue to develop, and looking forward to Sunday's game. But that's all for me. Adios, muchachos.